Hello, welcome back to this channel. I'm Yi-Cheng, your Mandarin teacher online. In AMQ series, we're talking about anti-motivational quote each time, or you can call it de-motivational quote as well. I will talk about one sentence in one episode. For today's sentence, kind of sad. But it's also a fact in some way, I would say. But nowadays, I would say it kind of start changing. But to a specific level, I think this really still makes sense. And reading that sentence will make me think a lot. Now let's take a look of our quote today. 长大是一个把哭声调成静音的过程。长大是一个把哭声调成静音的过程。Growing up is a process of adjusting the crying sound into mute mode. So it means it's a process of muting the sound of crying. What do you think after reading this quote? Let's take a look of the vocabulary part. 长大to grow up. 是 need to be careful. The 是 to be in Mandarin, do not rely on it too much as the English version to be, because usually when we use 是 this character meaning to be, we use it as the noun one is noun two, instead of noun one is and then adjective. Okay, so for example, she is tall, she is beautiful. We don't really use 是 this word to structure the sentence. We mainly use it like, for example, growing, noun one, process of something. So noun one is noun two. Then you use 是 this word. Next one, 一个 Be careful of how I pronounce it. 一个 I pronounce second tone and then neutral tone. So the 个 this word, when we use it as a measure word, we pronounce neutral tone or fifth tone or no tone. So this one. But the Google Pinyin gonna show you this fourth tone. But that's when it is used or mixed with other word to form another phrase. For example, like personality, we pronounce 个性. At that case, we pronounce this character as fourth tone. But when it is measured word, we pronounce it neutral tone, no tone, or fifth tone. And be careful with this E. I pronounce 一个is second tone. You can check out the video we talk about the tonal modification rule for E character. I will put it here and in the description box below. At that video, I explain when and how to pronounce this E character, within or under what specific situations. So here, 一个 second tone. 把 In Mandarin, this character or this particle is used before a direct object, followed by a transitive verb. In other situations, when it is combined with other words to form other phrases, it can mean a grip, a handle, but not in this case. We're using it as kind of like a sentence structure helping word. We will talk about this word's grammar in the next slide. If you only want to learn this quote, you can stop after we talk about the vocabulary. But if you want to learn the grammar and sentence structure about 把 for this kind of sentence, you can stay and keep watching. Next one, 哭声 哭 means to cry. 声 this word, it means sound, voice. So in this case, it's the sound of crying. 哭声 调成 调 means adjust into. 成 means become or into status situation. 调成 to adjust into. Hello, here's Yi-Cheng from the future. I just noticed when I was editing this video that I didn't list out the phrase 静音 静音, so we missed that part. For 静音, this phrase, 静 by itself already means quiet, silent, or mute. 音 actually is part of the phrase for 声音, which we talked about 哭声. The 声 means sound and voice. When you combine 声 and 音 together, it's a complete phrase for sound, voice. So 静音 together means mute, or the mute mode without saying the word mode. Okay? So now let's get back to our video. 过程 is a process. 程 is a journey. Okay? 过 means you go through something. So that's your process, your journey of a path going through something like that. So one more time. 长大是一个过程. This is a short sentence. Growing up is a process. What process? This whole thing is our adjective for the 过程. In this adjective, it uses a verb, which is to adjust the crying sound into mute mode, or the muted sound. Muted then no sound, but in means sound as well. Okay, so 长大是一个把哭声调成静音的过程. Growing up is a process of muting the sound of crying. Now let's take a look of the grammar. 把 has a lot of usage in a lot of situations, different kind of verb when you combine with this structure. But in general, 把 sentence focus on what happens to the object, the result or influence of an action, the verb, to the object. For example, we talk about 把哭声, you see, object, and then my verb is here, adjust into. In Mandarin, usually it's a subject, verb, object. It's this structure. But in 把 sentence, you need to put 把 and then directly your object and then the verb. So the 把 sentence usually is the verb causing the direct object change in some way. It might be change the level of the object, the degree of the object, the volume of the object, the color of the object, status, size, or even location, and so on and so forth. Now let's take a look of our sentence structure. 把. If you have subject, you put in front of 把 here. 把 plus our direct object plus our verb, which is gonna cause some kind of changes of our object here. And then the 成 here is into. So that's why we are focusing on like a status in this sentence structure. 把 has a lot of different one, and the sentence with what specific word in the sentence will help to form different kind of meaning of the sentence, which causing different effect to the object. In this one, we are using into, and into is usually emphasizing on verb, the object, into a new status, or into object 2, which is in sentence number 2. We will explain more for that one. In English translation, the sentence structure is more like verb, the object, into the new status. Now let's take a look of example number 1. 他想要把他的发色染成红色。他想要把他的发色染成红色。He, 他想要 want to 把 no direct translation, and then our direct object 他的发色 his hair color 染 our verb to dye something something 成 into 红色 red color. So 他想要把他的发色染成红色。He wants to dye his hair color into red color. Red color, you can treat it like a new status. You can treat it like an object too. His hair color into red color. Next one, 我把我的猫当成我的小孩。我把我的猫当成我的小孩。我 is I, 把 no direct translation. 我的猫 is our direct object. 当 so you see the Google Translate gonna show the pinyin as 当 because this character, when it combined with other word to form other phrase, it's pronounced as fourth tone 当. But actually, when you want to mean it as to treat something as something, you need to pronounce first tone. Okay, so it's 当 here. 当 to treat something into 我的小孩 my kid. So literally is I treat my cat into my kid. It sounds like I feed my cat into my kid. First of all, I don't have a kid. Second, no, my cat is my kid. I will not feed them to anyone. Okay, so it means to treat my cat as my kid. Okay, so now we need to talk about the third tone rule here, but we're gonna go through quickly. If you wanna see more clear explanation, you can go check out the third tone rule in AMQ 毒鸡汤 number 1 episode. I explained it there about how to define, how to pronounce your 3 third tone in a role situation. So here, there are 3 third tone in a row. The one at the back remains as third tone. This is for sure. And the one in front of it becomes second tone. This is also for sure. So it must be second, third, second, third. Now, how about the one in front of the second tone? As we just say, this one already known need to be pronounced as second tone. Okay. Now there's another one. So it depends on you think 把 and 我 is more like a fixed phrase, or 我 and 把 is more like a phrase than the other pair. But in this case, none of them look like it's more clearly more like a phrase. In that case, you can pronounce this one as by itself, which means third tone. Because you leave it alone, then it is a 1 third tone word by itself. If you think this two more like a pair of phrase, then it's kind of like a 2 third tone word in a row. This one is kind of like at the back and it's third tone, and the one in front of it needs to become second tone. So no matter you pronounce it third tone or second tone, in this case works. But you want to check out the AMQ number 1, we explain more deeper to it. Or just the next sentence, we actually use 4 third tone words in a row example to explain to it. So just keep watching. And as we say, even though when we are defining this one, we need to kind of pretend this is a third tone word at the back. But when you pronounce it, we already say at the first step, this must be third tone, this must be second tone. So here, no matter third or second is fine. This one, second. This one, third. 我把我的猫is second, third. And if I want to pronounce it third tone, it will be 我把我的猫 Okay. In this case, both works, either works. But not all the 3 third tone words can work either way. Okay. Sometimes it only works one way. Okay. Now, 我把我的猫当成我的小孩。我把我的猫当成我的小孩。I treat my cat as my kids. Okay, next one. 房间还是很热。房间还是很热。4 third tone words in a row. I'm gonna pronounce both cases for you. 可以把冷气调成24度吗？可以把冷气调成24度吗？ Or 可以把冷气调成24度吗？可以把冷气调成24度吗？ We're gonna explain the sentence first. 房间 room 还是 still 很热 very hot. 房间还是很热。可以 by itself means able to, can it, can someone, can I, may I. 把 our 把 no direct translation. Our direct object is 冷气 AC, the cool air. 调成 our verb 调 and 成 into 24度 24 degrees. In Taiwan, when we say degrees, we use Celsius. So now 房间还是很热，可以把冷气调成24度吗？ Now, for the third tone word in a row, as we say, the one at the back remain as third tone. The one in the front must be second tone. So now we already know 冷 is third, 把 is second. This is a must. Okay, this is a must. Now, the 可以 is a phrase, means able to, can, because we need to define this one. 一 and 把 more like a phrase, or 把 and 冷 more like a phrase. If you think, well, 一 is with 可, then it means 一 shouldn't be with 把, which means 把 should be with 冷. Then it means you leave it alone. If you leave it alone, you treat it as third tone. Then because it's a new third tone, what does the one in front of third tone need to be? Just like this one. 冷 is third tone, the one in front become second tone. Then this is second tone, third tone, second tone, third tone. So it will be 可以把冷 So I'm gonna say the whole one. 可以把冷气 Okay? Second, third. But if you are the part of people who think, okay, you just want me to decide is 一 more like 把 or 把 like 冷, well, I think because if just depend on these three, don't care about the 可, then I cannot tell. Maybe they are together. It doesn't look like they are together either. Then it means you're treating this as a second tone. That is, in this case, it works, okay? Just like in this case, it's not a very clear, sharp answer. And if you think 一 and 把 more like a phrase, rather than 把 and 冷 more like a phrase, then you treat 一 as a second tone, 一, okay? Because, as we say, pretend this one as the third tone word at the back, and then this is the word in front of third tone word, so become the second tone. Now, how about this one? Is 可 look like a phrase with 一? Yes, because 可以 is a fixed phrase. Then this is a must. You for sure know they are a phrase. Then 可 must become second tone because you treat them as a two third tone word in a row. Then this is third tone at the back. Then this is the one in front of the third tone. So it becomes second tone 可. So you cannot leave it alone because it is a pair of phrases together. There is no not so clear situation. It's a clear fixed phrase 可以 together. So 可, there's no two options. You only need to make it as second tone 可 because it's a fixed phrase. So in this case, we have two situations to choose. One is second, third. 可以把冷气调成24度吗？可以把冷气调成24度吗？ And the other one, second, third. 可以把冷气调成24度吗？可以把冷气调成24度吗？ Okay, so this turned out to be more like a third tone word tunnel modification advanced level episode rather than an AMQ episode. But yeah, I think I will list this one to a lot of videos when people need to kind of know more about when there are a lot of third tone words in a row. In the future, when we come across this kind of situation, I will explain again as well, especially when there's like 4 third tone words in a row. So now let's review one more time. 长大是一个把哭声调成静音的过程。长大是一个把哭声调成静音的过程。长大 to grow up 是 是 to be 一个 one 把 is used before a direct object followed by a transitive verb. 哭声 the sound of crying. 调成 to adjust into. 静音 mute. 过程 a process. 把 Sentence example. 他想要把他的发色染成红色。他想要把他的发色染成红色。He wants to dye his hair color into red color. 我把我的猫当成我的小孩。我把我的猫当成我的小孩。In that one, as I pronounce, I say 我把我. So I pronounce the second, third version. If you want to pronounce the third, second, third version, it will be 我把我的猫当成我的小孩。I treat my cat as my kid. Both works. Next one. 房间还是很热，可以把冷气调成24度吗？房间还是很热，可以把冷气调成24度吗？ So in that one, I pronounce my as the second, third. If you prefer the second, third, it will be 房间还是很热，可以把冷气调成24度吗？ In this case, also both work. So that will be today's video. And if you haven't subscribed, it would be really nice if you can click that subscribe button and even turn on the bell notification. If you would like to have a one-on-one lesson with me, you can go to my Koji page in the description box below. In that part, I have service option which provide one-on-one lesson, also other service as well. And you can download today's PDF through Snake Size Learning. I also provide the Instagram post picture and Instagram story post picture so that you can print it out or you can post or anything. If you want to donate to help me grow or even support my work, you can go to this part. There are options for different amount of money, so you can choose whichever you fancy. Next one is you can record your audio file about what you learned in this video or other video or what you learned today in Mandarin. And I can send you audio feedback as well. You can also book a lesson or register to italki, a learning language platform through my referral link. You will get $5 credit when you purchase a $20 credit on italki. It doesn't need to be the package lesson with me. It doesn't need to be my lesson or with me. You can choose other teacher learning other language as well. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.